friend Zappy to visit the old versions of Brookhaven. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment what time you're watching this video.
But how can we find out which was the very first version of Brookhaven?
Yeah, that's a pretty hard question, especially since Brookhaven was released in 2020. It's been almost 6 years since it came out. It's been a long time.
Back then, I didn't play Brookhaven. I started playing in 2023.
I've been playing Brookhaven for a bit longer, since 2021.
Anyone watching this video, comment what year you started playing Brookhaven, because I want to know.
You heard him, guys. Comment down below.
Well, since we didn't start playing Brookhaven back then, let's try to find out what Brookhaven was like.
That's a great idea. And to find that out, we need to come here to the Brookhaven Mall where the movie theater is. And you already know, right? Here in the cinema, it tells the entire history of Brookhaven from when its first version was released. This movie that plays by default here in Brookhaven shows the story of Marcus Brookhaven, who was an agent working for the FBI. But that's not what we need to know. We want to know what the first version of Brookhaven was.
I already know, Nando. We'll need to find the right tape that shows the movie of the old city.
That's right! Let's get a car because it's a bit far from the city to find the tape we need.
But do you already know which tape it is?
Of course I do, my friend. The entire history of Brookhaven revolves around this old house of Mr. Brookhaven. This was the very first house ever released in the game.
Wow, but why is everything destroyed and fallen on the ground like this? What happened?
Yeah, it seems that Mr. Brookhaven abandoned this house. Now no one knows where he went. Well, the tape we need is hidden under this white cover, and we need to remove it. So let's get back in the car because we need to go to another location here in Brookhaven. And to remove that white cover, we need to enter this secret passage of the agency.
This place is really old, and at the same time it looks abandoned. Everything's dirty. This place scares me.
Relax, Zappy, because the only thing we need to do is click these buttons and make all of them light up, and automatically that white cover will disappear.
That was easier than I expected. Let's get out of here already.
Let's go. We're about to discover the first version of Brookhaven. Look, the cover really disappeared.
Wow, I can't believe it worked, and it looks like the code is 70433.
Remember that code well, Zappy, because now we need to enter it at the cinema. So we just come here to the mall, go downstairs, and enter this strange room. Right here, there will be a button telling us to enter the code, and we just need to type the same one we found, 70433. After pressing OK, the movie will now play here inside the theater, and we're going to watch it.
Look, it looks like Mr. Brookhaven in ancient times. He's near a campfire. What could that mean?
Yeah, now we're going to discover the story of Mr. Brookhaven and at the same time the history of the city. In this next image, we can see Mr. Brookhaven digging a hole and finding some gold until he discovers a glowing crystal.
What could that crystal be? Does it give powers?
I don't know, but Mr. Brookhaven covered that hole so no one would discover what was inside. Then he sat on top of it, and as we can see, he has some effects on his leg, as if he really gained some kind of power. That's how the city began. There is the first sign of the city of Brookhaven.
Wow, I can't believe Brookhaven used to be this bad. And look, it seems like the first person is arriving in the city.
That looks like Mr. Brookhaven's future wife. He's riding a horse and the city is being built. Zappy, you won't believe it, but I have access to this old city of Mr. Brookhaven.
What do you mean? Take me there so we can explore and I can see what it was like?
Let's go. I'll take you there. Zappy, welcome to Brookhaven in 1903.
I can't believe we're really here, just like in the movie. Look at that sign, it's identical.
That's right, this is the secret version of Brookhaven. Very few people have access to this version. As you can see, everything here is very simple. There was nothing, no mall, no hotel, no shop. Everything was scarce. The only thing they had was horses.
Wow, I'm even afraid to ask how you got access to this version.
About that, I can't talk. It's a secret. The administrators don't let me tell anyone.
Oh, okay. But are we really in 1903? I wasn't even born back then.
It was a very, very long time ago. Back then, Brookhaven was nothing. The only thing it had was the police station.
Yeah, kind of. Because it looks like the police station isn't even finished. There are some stairs here and a lot of things missing.
That's right. This was 1903. This was already very good for the time.
And look, it seems there's already a cemetery here. It looks a lot like the cemetery we have today. I think Brookhaven Cemetery is very old.
Yeah, unfortunately, many people have passed through this cemetery. Poor Yuli, rest in peace. And look, this other coffin says, I told you I was sick.
I think those were his last words.
Over here, on the opposite side of the police station, we can find where the horses were kept. And this is definitely very different from what we know today. This wasn't even supposed to be here.
Yeah, today this place is the airport, if I'm not mistaken. This doesn't make any sense.
That's true. true, but back then this was where they kept horses, oxen, cows, like the rural area of the city.
And it looks like no one has been here for a long time. The horses are all spread around the city.
Yes, but do you want to know something bizarre?
What?
Do you remember how Mr. Brookhaven's house looked when we visited the current version of Brookhaven?
Yes, I remember. It was completely broken and destroyed.
So, at this time, it wasn't like that. Back then, as I said, someone lived here. In this case, Mr. Brookhaven.
Wow, the house looks beautiful and well built. There's even Christmas decorations.
That's right! This version of Brookhaven actually takes place at Christmas, everything decorated, full of stuff, even a place to draw. Here he kept his clothes, had a barbecue on this grill, and here was where he kept his food and had his meals.
Wow, it even gives me chills walking through this house knowing the owner is no longer among us.
Yeah! Rest in peace, Mr. Brookhaven!
Nando, that version of Brookhaven was really cool, but I'd like to see a newer version that looks more like Brookhaven. There was almost nothing there compared to today.
Of course we can do that! I have access to all the old versions of Brookhaven. But before we go, I want you to remember all of this. What Brookhaven is exactly like today. The beginning of the game, the shop, literally everything. I want you to remember all of it so we can compare how the old version really was compared to the current one.
Alright Nando, I know this map like the back of my hand. Let's go to the other map already.
So welcome to Brookhaven 2020. This version is already very modern compared to the 1903 version that only had horses and dirt.
Now it really looks more like Brookhaven, but there are some differences. And look at this game spawn, how strange. There's no glass under us, and there's even a tutorial on how to play.
Since this was one of the first versions released in Brookhaven, yes, there was a tutorial on how to play. Back then people didn't really know how to play Roblox. And take a look at this police station, so nostalgic.
Wow, much better than the 1903 version. It looks a lot like today's police station, just with a more retro style.
Yes, and inside this police station there was already a secret passage up here. However, back then there wasn't that strange secret place we have today. Before, this area was completely hollow, but at least it was used for criminals to escape from jail.
Look at this Brookhaven market. It's very different inside and had fewer things for sale.
Everything was very different back then. This sandwich, for example, isn't even sold in Brookhaven anymore. It's one of the banned items in the game.
This upstairs part of the supermarket where the apartments are today didn't even exist. It looks like it used to be a restaurant.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'd much rather have the apartments here, but back then it was actually a restaurant that sold everything, even drinks.
Take a look back here. There was even a storage room.
That's right, so you could bring your girlfriend and sit here to enjoy a nice dinner.
Hey, what did you say?
Look at this super old version of Burger Barn. Zappy! For those of you who don't know, Burger Barn has existed for many years. Look at what its old logo looked like.
Wow, that burger picture even made my mouth water.
Yeah, it looks very realistic. It doesn't look like those plastic Roblox burgers. They were trying to bring more realism. Look at all these burger sale images, completely realistic, as if they were made in real life.
Man, the kitchen is much bigger. It really looks like a real fast food place. And look, it seems like this was where the store manager stayed.
That's right! This is the Burger Barn kitchen. It's really very different from today. Everything was much simpler and stranger. But this place hides a big secret, one you probably don't know.
Really, Nando? What kind of secret?
We just need to climb up these boxes and jump into this pipe, and we end up in a secret place. This place was probably used by some employees to eat in secret so the boss wouldn't fire them.
I'm sure the employees also took breaks here to use their phones during work. Oh my god, the auto shop. What did they do to it? It's horrible. It looks like a toy store.
This is the very first version of the auto shop, the place where you work on cars. There was this area here to lift the cars, and if it was occupied, there was another side you could use. And this is the inside area.
And it doesn't stop there. There's even a storage room, and it looks like there's a secret passage here.
Yes, that secret passage actually hid a secret criminal organization. They used these computers to watch the security cameras of the vault and the police station, and they stored these weapons here to commit robberies.
Those criminals were really well prepared.
And remember this car here? It still exists in Brookhaven today.
Of course I remember. That one is one of my favorite cars, but today in Brookhaven, it's blue.
Yeah, back then it seems the default color was green. Very strange. And look, Zappy, it doesn't stop there. This here is a hair salon. It's very similar to today's, right? It barely changed.
But what happened here? Why is everything closed? Did someone die inside the ice cream shop?
No, actually not. It was still under construction at the time, so everything was closed. They were still deciding what they would put there, which is why it's empty. And on these safety tapes it says construction. In the future, this place would become the ice cream shop.
And look at this arcade. Where are the cool games? There are only these old retro video games.
Yeah, Yeah, this part was very simple. Going up the stairs, there was even a birthday party room. So you could use this place to celebrate birthdays with your family.
But this place is boring. There's no proper decoration. It's really lame. Today's party room is way cooler.
If this is boring to you, imagine the Brooks Club. Look at how everything was different. They sold Coca-Cola, and this drink here, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't exist today.
But where are the lights? There's no dance floor, and the sofa that should be here isn't here either.
Unfortunately, back then they still lacked creativity, so they didn't have many ideas. And right in front of the Brooks Club, there was this place here for, I think, talking maybe with a psychiatrist?
It looks like a therapy room.
Yes, probably. It's very simple, white, strange. It was definitely one of the least used places in Brookhaven.
Nando, there's still a lot for us to see. If people like this video and leave a lot of likes, we'll make a part 2.
You heard that. Guys, leave lots of likes and subscribe. And guys, if you want to add me on Roblox, just click the become a member button and I'll add you on Roblox.